Hello, my name is Nick Bray. I'm a PhD candidate at Western University. The title of my talk is a multimodal intervention to improve brain function in older adults with mild cognitive impairment. Mild cognitive impairment, or MCI, is generally considered a pre-dementia state. And this is because individuals with MCI are up to 10 times more likely to convert than their normal aging counterparts. Measures of brain function are one of the earliest changes in those with MCI. And when I say brain function, I'm simply referring to areas of the brain that activate or turn on. Lifestyle modification may decrease risk of MCI and by extension, dementia syndromes by 40%. And when I say lifestyle modification, I'm referring to things such as physical exercise, cognitive training, sleeping, and nutrition. To this end, we conducted a randomized controlled trial to determine the effect of physical exercise with or without cognitive training and or vitamin D supplementation on brain function in older adults with mild cognitive impairment. 3 times a week for 20 weeks, the participants took part in the intervention. The first component was cognitive training. Cognitive training took 30 minutes per session and included a neuro rehab program for working memory and attention. As you'll see here on the video, the individuals are presented with a symbol, and then they have to select the correct symbol on the side of the iPad. Both reaction time and accuracy are recorded. Immediately after cognitive training, participants go into physical exercise. And physical exercise was 60 minutes per session, inclusive of a 10-minute warm-up, 30 minutes of resistance training or weightlifting, and then 20 minutes of aerobic training or walking, jogging, cycling. And then finally, participants took vitamin D supplementation, and the supplementation was 10,000 IUs per pill, and they took this 3 times a week for 20 weeks. Our primary outcome was brain function, and this was measured via functional brain network connectivity, or FBNC. And what we see in this very busy figure here is this area at the back, or the PCC, is showing the same activation with this area at the front. So therefore, these areas are considered to be functionally connected, or put more simply, they activate or turn on together. Secondary outcomes was the correlation between FBNC and outcomes of physical and cognitive performance. We ran a few different models of statistical analyses with the intervention groups, and this area consistently showed up. And what this area is the left angular gyrus. And so this is showing, or this area is showing, increased connectivity with the hippocampus. And together, these areas are part of the default mode network. And so what we believe this means or represents is that there is restoration to brain function that is more typical of normal aging. For our correlation analyses, only physical performance was trending towards or reached statistical significance, and you can see there are moderate-ish to large effect sizes. But importantly, once we corrected for multiple comparisons, none of our correlations analyses survived. So in wrapping up here, what did we do? Well, we examined the effect of a multimodal intervention on FBNC, or functional brain network connectivity, in older adults with MCI. In support of our hypotheses, we found physical exercise increased FBNC, but contrary to our hypotheses, FBNC change was not correlated with any of our secondary outcomes. As I alluded to earlier, we believe these changes in FBNC represent restoration to typical or normal aging brain function, but the implications for behavioral outcomes still require further investigation. So with that, I'd like to thank the funding agencies that made this work possible, as well as my supervisor, Dr. Montero-Odasso, and I'd be happy to take any questions.